Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 75 in the series Viewers Games. It's the turn of Satyam, and Satyam writes, "Hi Rick, here's a game I played some time back on Lichess, where my handle is True Sacrifice. I am black, my opponent is white. Both me and my opponent missed a mate in one. Hope you and your fans find it interesting. I love your channels on YouTube, hope to someday see you analyze this game. Cheers, Satyam." And Satyam's opponent was Chess Arthur with a rating of 1503, and Satyam had a rating of 1560, but I don't know what the time control is for this game. Let's have a look at the game. e4 from white and e6 from Satyam. c4, and Satyam writes, "My intent was to play the French defense, but my opponent followed e4 by c4. Well, Satyam, you can still play d5 as you do in the normal French, where white has played d4 instead of c4. And then one variation is e takes d5, d4 and knight f6. Those are the main moves after that c2, c4 on the second move from white. But Satyam decided instead of d5 to play knight f6 on the second move, which is fine as well. If white plays e5, then the knight can go to e4, and that's okay. But white played d3 on the third move. And now e5 from Satyam, not a bad move, but playing the same pawn twice in 3 moves is generally not a great thing to do. It turns out this position is going to be very closed, hence the loss of time is not important. But as a rule of thumb, you should not really play e6 and then 2 moves later play e5. a3 from white, d6 and h3. White does what many players do, play h3 and h3 very early in the game. Very solid most of the time, but also quite unambitious, not looking for the best move in the position. Knight c6 developing, knight f3, bishop e6. Satyam brings his pieces into play, very good. And b3. White makes a lot of pawn moves. White has played 7 moves and 6 of those were with the pawn. Bishop e7, Satyam does it better, he brings his pieces into play. Knight c3 and castling. Healthy play from Satyam, all minor pieces are developed and the king has been put safe on g8. Rook b1, telegraphing what he wants to do, to play b4, that's what I assume, but it never happens, as we'll see. a6 from Satyam, knight e2. Any development move from one of the bishops makes more sense here. White wants to maneuver his knight to g3, as we'll see. Knight a7, Satyam wants to push the c-pawn up the board. Bishop b2, and there comes c5 as planned. And now look at this move, knight d2. I do not understand this move, and as we see from the coming moves, white does not understand his own moves either. b6 from Satyam. The knight goes to g3 as planned. Knight back to c6. And look at this move. Well, knight e2. Knight back to where it came from. No commentary needed here. Bishop e2. And then castling, and white is still okay. As said, the position is closed, so white can afford to lose a lot of time. Knight e2. Terrible. Not developing his pieces, just playing the knight to and fro. Queen c7 from Satyam, he plays with a purpose. Knight g3, I'm not going to comment on that. White just makes moves but has no plan. Satyam does have a plan, he wants to push on the queen side. And he prepares that with rook fb8. a4 from white. That does not prevent black pushing b5, which Satyam could have done here. He could have played b5, breaking open the position. And white is not developed, and knight d2 is also a bad piece, just looking at its own pawns. This is very good for black. For example, a takes b5, a takes b5, and black also has the open a file now. After b5, bishop e2 is a better move, but also then black gets an advantage. B takes a4, b takes a4 and rook b4, and black is infiltrating in white's position. So a4 does not prevent b5. Satyam could have played it, but he played knight b4, and he writes, on move 16 I saw b4 was weak and jumped in with my knight, and that's not a bad move either. Here bishop e2 makes sense, knight f3 improving that piece also makes sense, and white is still in the game. But you probably can guess what white's move was. He played the knight back to e2. Knight h5 from Satyam, good move. Planning to go to f4 maybe one day. But there was a better move than knight h5. Checkmate is always preferable. Knight takes d3 would have been checkmate. The white king is smothered by its own pieces. But who expects mate in 1 to just appear after 17 moves? And knight h5 was played by Satyam. g3 from white, hooray! He plays a move with a purpose, controlling the f4 square to make sure the knight does not jump in there. Good move from white. But now Satyam saw the checkmate, which is still there. Knight takes d3 and this game was over. Satyam writes, I missed the mate in 1. Fortunately my opponent did too, and second time around I was able to see it. And Satyam won this game in only 18 moves. You played very well, Satyam, but your opponent did not. His moves hurt my eyes. And it was good that he was punished severely by checkmate. Well done, Satyam. If I'm perfectly honest, this was not much of a game. White did not play proper chess, but the smothered mate was nice indeed. If you would like your game to be analyzed on Chess to Impress, please send it to me by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and please leave a comment. If you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.